Okay, let's get
Next
on to the
item.
next one.
Andante Master Sign Program, San Pablo Avenue and 40th Street. And we're on to Andante.
Yes, this is me.
Okay.
This is an application for a master sign program for the retail portion of the Andante Mixed Use Project, which is at the southeast corner of San Pablo Avenue and 40th Street, pursuant to the conditions of approval of a previously approved conditional use permit and design review approval. In July of 2000, the Planning Commission approved a use permit and design review for the Andante project. A revised project was approved in February of 2001, and then a further revision was approved in December of 2003. The project, as currently approved after these various revisions, includes a 4,700 square foot restaurant at the corner of San Pablo and 40th, 10,150 square feet of retail or office space along San Pablo Avenue, a 5-level parking structure, and 125 residential units. One of the conditions of approval stipulates that the applicant shall apply for a master sign program which shall be reviewed and approved by the Planning Commission. And when the applicant then submits a specific sign design to the Planning Department for approval, the sign application shall indicate how it is consistent with the master sign program. Once you approve a master sign program, we can administratively approve any signs that come in under that program, even if they would otherwise require Planning Commission approval. So it expedites the whole process for everybody. The proposed master sign program is part of a larger tenant design guidelines handbook for the retail space that fronts San Pablo and 40th Street. It would include guidelines for window signs, corner canopy sign, transom signs, blade signs, and wall signs. The guidelines include a general description of the type of sign and criteria for material, size, and illumination. They also include detailed dimensional illustrations as well as locational diagrams. The zoning ordinance stipulates what a master sign program is supposed to include. The master sign program complies with those provisions of the zoning ordinance, and in our view, it provides adequate guidance to future retail tenants and will result in signage that will be tasteful and compatible with the architecture of the project. We therefore recommend that you approve this master sign program. The applicant has prepared a PowerPoint presentation, which you will now see. We also have color copies of the sign program. You had black and white in your packets, but we have color for you now. Have they been distributed? Okay, we'll distribute those to you now. In addition, Andante LLC has a few comments on the master sign program that their consultant has prepared and would like, I need one, please, would like to suggest a few revisions, and I'm going to pass that around too.
It's wishful thinking, these signs. Pete's Coffee, Restoration Hardware, let's be ambitious. How wonderful.
Oh, you haven't heard about this?
Yeah.
We're going to get them in San Pablo? All
Coming.
right. All right.
I would love a peach coffee.
Yeah, it would be very nice, wouldn't it?
What?
Down here it would be fine too, but at this.
Amani, oh yes.
It's coffee.
We still don't have a Pete's Coffee around here. I know.
This is Sadish Muhendra from SCFM Architects, who prepared the master sign program. Sadish also prepared the master sign program that we currently have in place for the Promenade project, and provides various and sundry other design consulting services for the city. Although I believe he's working for Andante at this, well, I don't know, whatever. Doesn't matter. It's all yours.
No, I just wanted to correct. I am working for Dante, but it's complicated. But I'm actually working for Dante on requested by redevelopment agency. Am I right? Okay, so I like to think that we are unbiased, and even though we are being paid by the developer, that we're really keeping the interest of the project and the city and the public at large. Just want to clarify that. Charlie, do you want me to make a brief presentation?
Yes, go right ahead. So,
Okay.
the
So,
floor
yes.
is yours.
Just a couple of things. I am seeing these revisions actually for the first time, so I'm not going to be able to obviously react to these right away, but I think I'm told they're minor and these can be worked out. But basically, what I wanted to say is what you're seeing in the presentation essentially is we took a look at this building, and basically through the signage, what we want to do is hopefully provide adequate signage so that the spaces, the retailers find them attractive, and at the same time, signage that is compatible with the style of the building. And a third component of this is that we felt that there were some, let me just say, deficiencies or some aspects of the project, the way it's designed, that would, that through signage perhaps we could improve upon the retail viability of this building. And the aspects I'm particularly referring to are the height of the tenant spaces. As you can see in the picture, I'm not sure, I think you're looking at a slightly different format, so I'll have to go to the page. You don't have exactly, but if you don't mind looking at the picture that's taken from looking southeast at the building, you kind of get a sense that this is basically a residential project, and with perhaps parking on the ground floor, if you just squint your eye. And that has to do with the fact the building was designed primarily from top down rather than from bottom up. So the retail space looks a little squeezed, and it's under this overhang, so it's always in the shadow. We think we can do some simple things with signage that will give the presence of the street level, give it a little more presence, especially considering the fact that this is on such a large right-of-way. So that's one thing. The other thing that we found unique about this site is the corner tower element, which is certainly appropriate because this is a major intersection in the city, and people have ample time to stop at the signal, whether they want to or not, to look at things. So we felt that corner, the building, the way it was designed, did not quite adequately take into mind appropriate signage for that corner tenant. And I think people are going to eventually, if there's a successful tenant at the corner, people are going to identify this whole, they may not say, meet me by the Andante project, but they'll probably say, meet me by that tenant space, whatever that is. So we give kind of a special attention and a unique characteristic to that signage that is not allowed for the rest of the spaces because they have different conditions. And that's what you're looking at here. Our feeling was that the best place to put the signage, given the size of the intersection and the way you approach it, is to actually put it at the overhang. The overhang, the signage will be done in such a way that there will be 2 rails added to the overhang so that it doesn't look like the signage was an afterthought, was tacked on, but we want to make it seem like it was part of the building. I won't go into the details of it, but what kind of signage is allowed. We have taken care, however, and that absolutely no light emits from the signage that is pointing back towards the residential units. That's a very important, obviously, consideration. The next thing, next signage, of course, is the signage for the stores that are in the rest of the building as you go south. A little hard to see, but what we have done here is put the signage on a background, a rectangular background directly above the storefront, so that visually we've extended the storefront higher, giving it a greater presence, and the material and the color of that background is going to be consistent, and it will match the color of the panels that are off-white on the side of the building, on the side of each storefront. That way, it would seem like it's part of the design, and of course, we have a couple of choices as to how the signage can be implemented. The signage, I just want to go back for a second. Something is not working here. There we go. We have, the signage is detailed enough that if you are a tenant that has a light sort of logo, you're given a little bonus, and if you're a tenant that has a heavy sort of stroke, you are limited to a smaller size. The other signs that most tenants have are blade signs. These signs are going to be very appropriate for the pedestrians, and also they kind of mirror the signs that are across the street that you can see in this picture here. So there's some continuity with not only this project, but within the project, but also adjacent building. We have identified the locations of those. They're at the entrances. And in addition to that, their window graphics are also controlled so they don't get out of hand in terms of what they can put on the windows. These guidelines also address how, within what sort of restrictions can the tenants use the outdoor spaces for seating and also for landscaping. I think I'll stop at that. Thank you.
Well, actually, I need to interrupt because we don't have on our monitor what's being projected up here. And to the technician, is this being broadcast out? Because our monitors are blank. And there's a concern that perhaps people have not been seeing the presentation.
Do you really think anybody's watching this?
Chris.
If they're not, that's a bad sign.
Yeah, our monitors are blank.
It's being broadcast.
Okay, thanks for clarifying.
All right.
Thanks
I'm
for
sorry,
the
I wasn't aware
presentation.
that your monitors were blank. but
Yeah. We just turned around assuming that was the easiest way to handle it.
I'll be happy to answer any
Lisa, did you
questions.
want to present to us? So we could, I think these are, quickly reviewing them, they seem like pretty simple changes. It would be nice if you could just quickly walk us through it so we can get this completed.
Oh, here.
Hi, Lisa Erickson, SNK Development. In reviewing it, I just knew that you got the packet, but hadn't made my comments to it necessarily. I just wanted to make sure that the guidelines accommodated for the potential of having two users in the restaurant space. So that's where one of my comments comes from. We're focusing on the corner use, but I just wanted to give us the flexibility in the guidelines to have additional signs along 40th Street if we have a second user in the back. So that's where some of them stem from. And the other was, I wanted to also allow, if the corner user has the money and wanted to do two signs, to allow them to have one that faces 40th Street and one that faces San Pablo up on the tower element there. So I think that's the gist of kind of my
And then maybe one other change, you
changes.
had a 15% standard for your sale rather than a 10% standard. Is that correct?
I
And
was
the-
trying to just clarify for them what the
What-
ordinance is,
Right.
so they
Okay.
have it and they
So
know
that's
what
your
it is.
suggestion, that there be a,
Yes, that Charlie and I kind of talked about that
Okay.
and came up with that.
I think that makes sense rather than a vague word. Any questions? Any, we need to open this item for a public hearing. Is there anyone here wishing to speak on this item? Great sign. Okay, thanks, Forrest. Anyone else wishing to speak on this item? We'll close the public hearing. Discussion, motion,
Move approval.
Second.
with the requested changes?
Yes. Yes.
So that was Commissioner Lutz, seconded by Commissioner Brook.
I would just add, I compliment you on your work on this. It's beautifully presented.
On the motion, Commissioner Brook,
Aye.
Commissioner Kane,
Aye.
Commissioner Lutz,
Aye.
Commissioner Owens,
Aye.
Commissioner Troiding,
Aye.
Vice Chair Jeffrey,
Aye.
Chair Martin.
Aye.
7 ayes.
Good
The
job.
master
Would you
sign
like this
program is
back
approved.
to save paper and?
Hey,
perhaps
Lisa.
Someone else would like to use it?
You know, with all these names, are you actually talking to Pete's Coffee? Or are we just streaming?
Talk to them and they don't want to be on Zoom.
They don't? Yeah.